At the grand finale of the Fashion Forward Salon competition, I, Ethan Harrington, planned to finally reveal my identity as the heir to the renowned Harrington design dynasty to my fiancée, Sophia Miller. But she got there first. She reported me for plagiarizing the designs of my own assistant, Thompson. Worse, she treated the wedding dress I had poured my heart and soul into creating for her as nothing more than a vulgar plaything. My assistant of many years, Liam, stood on the award stage, holding Sophia close. "Sophia," he murmured, his voice thick with feigned emotion, "I can finally be worthy of you." Sophia, her eyes glistening with what looked suspiciously like tears, leaned in and kissed him. "Tonight, you are the undisputed design champion." At the celebratory banquet, everyone was congratulating Liam on his double triumph, success in his career and love in his life. When I confronted Sophia, demanding an explanation, she turned on me, her face cold, and delivered a stinging slap. "Ethan Harrington, you were the plagiarist. Liam is more talented and works harder than you. He'll be a chief designer sooner or later. It's an honor for you to even be his assistant." My eyes burned red with fury and anguish. With trembling hands, I tore the meticulously prepared design draft into shreds. I wouldn't make the mistake of feeding a pack of ingrates with my designs again. As for Sophia, if she thought Liam was a treasure, then by all means, let her have him. The moment the design draft was ripped into fragments, the entire room fell silent. Only Liam broke the stillness, his voice filled with exaggerated heartache, pointing a trembling finger at me. "Ethan, I know you're jealous because I won, but that was my masterpiece, the result of sleepless nights. How dare you tear it up?" Sophia's smile vanished. She stepped in front of Liam, shielding him, and slapped me again, harder this time. "What nerve do you, a plagiarist, have to make a scene like this? You think I'd falsely accuse you?" A bitter smile touched my lips. Only someone who has been falsely accused truly understands the depth of that pain. To win this competition, I had pushed myself to temporary blindness from exhaustion, escaping the hospital just hours before the final. Sophia had promised that if I won the salon competition, she would finally go public with our relationship. Instead, I was met with accusations of plagiarism. Sophia leaned closer, lowering her voice to a chilling whisper. "This isn't the first time. What are you being so dramatic about?" So, she remembered. This was the 99th time she had used the promise of going public as an excuse to get my designs and pave the way for Liam. My heart turned to ice. I wrenched my arm free from her tight grip. "I won't make a fuss anymore. Not ever again." Meeting Sophia's startled gaze, I took a step back and turned away, leaving without a backward glance. As I walked away, I tightened my grip on the ring box hidden in my sleeve. I hadn't told her that the diamond ring design she'd accused me of plagiarizing was the very design I intended to use for the engagement ring, the surprise proposal I planned after winning. I had personally traveled to the Golden Triangle, risking my life to retrieve the rare mooring red diamond she had always coveted, and painstakingly crafted it into the ring myself. The sweetness and anticipation leading up to the competition had completely evaporated, leaving only bitter disappointment and cold resolve. I headed back to the preparation area to pack up my open-air drawing table and tools in the hallway. Just behind me was the luxurious lounge Sophia had rented for Liam, sparing no expense. My heart remained calm. This was, after all, how the past few years had gone. Sophia claimed she needed personal space and wouldn't pay for a lounge for me. Yet she readily bought Liam the most expensive art supplies and rented him the most opulent chair. The only significant gift she had ever given me was a frayed paintbrush Liam had discarded. I scoffed, tossing the brush into a nearby trash can. As I turned to leave, I paused, my gaze fixed on the slightly ajar door of Liam's lounge. The blood drained from my face. Through the gap, I saw Liam, who must have returned unnoticed, locked in a passionate kiss with Sophia. And she was wearing the wedding dress, the one I had designed and made for her with my own hands. Sophia, her eyes half closed with desire, wiped her lips and guided Liam's hand to the fabric of the dress. "It's more exciting to tear it off," she purred. Liam chuckled low in his throat. "Sophia, darling, this is the dress Liam designed specially for you. Are you sure you want to rip it up for a little fun?" She wrapped her arms around his neck, feigning annoyance. "He's so old-fashioned and boring, but he did manage to make one decent dress. Isn't this much more stimulating than our usual lingerie?" The moment I saw it, I knew exactly what kind of games I wanted to play with you. "It's just a dress. If you want to tear it, tear it. Ethan wouldn't dare be angry. If you like, I'll get him to make you a few more, just for you to rip up. She boldly rubbed her foot against Liam's leg. Liam's breathing hitched, and he pulled her beneath him, their movements becoming frantic and unrestrained. My eyes burned red. I snapped the drawing tool I held in my hand. I had never seen this side of Sophia. So raw, so passionate, so utterly different from the woman who shared a bed with me. With me, she always refused intimacy, claiming to be traditional and against premarital sex, often sending me to take a cold shower. She presented herself as pure and innocent to me, while behind my back, she was exploring every kind of game with Liam. That wedding dress was the result of a week of sleepless nights. I remembered how she had held my hands, pricked countless times by needles, and feigned such deep emotion. And now, she was treating it as a prop in their sordid play. I lit a cigarette, standing outside the door, listening in a self-destructive trance. I stayed until they finished, then walked away. Back home, I scrolled through social media and saw Liam's latest post. Self-care with Sophia tonight. Feeling blessed. The accompanying photo showed Sophia in the kitchen, making soup for him. The counter was filled with ingredients known for boosting vitality. I gave a cold, cynical smile and hit like. Wishing you both many children. Within moments, the post was deleted. My phone rang. It was Sophia. Liam accidentally posted that. You misunderstood. I'm apologizing for him. I stayed silent. Sophia sighed, her voice softening as she tried to placate me. Don't take what happened today to heart. Without me protecting him, Liam would be bullied in the industry. Pretending to be his girlfriend is just to give him some backing. You're so talented, you don't need this one championship. You want to participate in the chief designer competition, right? I promise I'll let you assist Liam in participating. Her brazen lack of shame almost made me laugh. Even now, Sophia wanted to trick me into making further sacrifices for Liam's benefit. She was worried about him being bullied. When I was getting investment for her studio, I was forced to drink until I had a stomach hemorrhage, and all she said was that my body wasn't strong enough. I simply hummed in response. She immediately sounded relieved, a smile in her voice. I knew you'd be understanding. I sent a delivery runner over with soup I made myself. Drink it, and you can't be angry anymore. The call ended. A short while later, the soup arrived. The moment I opened the container, I almost threw up. Floating on top of the greasy, rich broth were broken bits of bone. It wasn't soup, it was clearly leftover scraps from Liam's meal. Disgusted, I threw it away without hesitation. I pulled out my phone and called my father, the one who had always opposed my relationship with Sophia. Dad, for the chief designer competition in 2 days, I will be attending as a judge under the Harrington name. To be with Sophia, I had been estranged from my family. My father, Mr. Harrington, had hardened his heart, wanting me to learn the harsh realities of the world. But for Sophia, I had shattered my pride as a design prodigy, endured humiliating client dinners, fueled myself with coffee through countless sleepless nights, and poured my genius into building her design studio's reputation. The first thing she did upon gaining recognition was change the studio name from Northern Haven to Liam's Muse. Now, on the phone, the father who had been so fiercely opposed to me sounded afraid I might change my mind about coming home. Meanwhile, the woman for whom I had sacrificed everything was entangled with another man. I hung up the phone, my decision made. Halfway through packing, I received a call from Sophia. I'm drunk. Come pick me up. Her voice was hoarse, clearly slurring. I frowned instinctively. Sophia had an alcohol allergy. I had always ensured she never touched a drop of alcohol at any event. Who had she been drinking for this time? The call disconnected quickly. Fearing she might actually be in trouble, I called a taxi and rushed to the hotel. But as I entered, I saw Sophia, clearly intoxicated, sitting on Liam's lap, whispering intimately. The moment she saw me, the haze in her eyes cleared. She stood up and pushed me towards a heavy-set woman. This is Ms. Davies, the sponsor for Liam's chief designer competition entry. You have a good tolerance for alcohol. Charm her for us. Liam doesn't handle alcohol well, so I didn't let him drink. My face darkened. Before I could protest, the heavy-set woman pressed me down and forced me to down a bottle of alcohol. In the dark bar private room, I was plied with drink after drink. As the alcohol spilled onto my clothes, I saw Sophia, doting on Liam, coaxing him to eat another shrimp she had peeled for him. Suddenly, an oily hand reached out and squeezed my waist. I couldn't take it anymore. I slammed my glass onto the table and gritted my teeth, looking at Sophia. I'm not drinking this anymore. This woman is touching me inappropriately. Sophia's face froze for a moment. Then she frowned, pretending to inspect my clothes. Just then, Liam, his eyes bloodshot, stopped her hand. Ethan, how can you falsely accuse Ms. Davies just because you don't want to help me entertain her? Everyone knows Ms. Davies has a perfect family life. I won't let you ruin my sponsorship. If you won't drink this, I will. With that, he snatched my glass. Sophia cried out and grabbed the glass back from him, then splashed the contents directly into my face. Her beautiful eyes were now filled with cold contempt. I almost fell for your lie. How dare you make up such a shameless excuse? What's the big deal for a grown man? Don't be so fussy. This sponsorship is very important to Liam. If you dare to mess it up, we're finished. She said this and, without a second glance, pulled Liam away and left. I collapsed onto the sofa, trembling, my eyes burning from the strong alcohol. My hand was suddenly grabbed, struggling to open. My stinging eyes, I saw the oily, heavy-set woman, saliva glistening on her lips, tearing at my clothes. In a panic, my hand found a bottle nearby. I bit down hard and smashed it onto her head. When I finally stumbled out of the bar, I was filthy. My clothes were stained with alcohol and vomit, ripped and torn. I stood in the underground parking garage and saw Sophia locked in a passionate embrace with Liam. In an instant, all the blood rushed to my head. Seeing me, Liam cried out and pushed Sophia away. Sophia, still craving his attention, narrowed her eyes and turned. Her gaze fell upon the red marks on my neck, left from the struggle. Her face turned ugly. She rushed towards me, demanding answers. She touched you. Are you that cheap? Humiliating yourself for resources, letting another woman grope you shamelessly. I knew she was misunderstanding, but I didn't deny it. Didn't you say? What's the big deal for a grown man? Don't be so fussy. Sophia was left speechless, her pretty face turning beet red. Liam, who had been shoved aside by her, clenched his fists. He pointed deliberately towards the arriving ambulance. Isn't that Miss Davies? Why is she being carried into an ambulance? He finished, then suddenly pointed at me, feigning outrage. It was you, wasn't it? You hit Ms. Davies to ruin my sponsorship. If this gets out, who will ever sponsor me again? Sophia believed him instantly. She lunged forward, her face contorted with rage, and slapped my face again, leaving it swollen and stinging. Don't think I don't know what you're planning. Trying to sabotage Liam's sponsorship to stop him from becoming chief designer. I won't let you succeed. Liam will win this competition. And you will forever only be fit to carry his shoes. Covering my swollen face, I watched them rush towards Ms. Davies' ambulance, showering her with apologies. I let out a quiet, mirthless laugh. Well, let's see about that. I turned and headed home to pack my belongings. But as I pulled open the closet door, I froze. The large wardrobe was filled with Liam's expensive, tailored suits. My own clothes were nowhere to be found. I suddenly remembered Sophia saying she had thrown away my old clothes before the design salon to make space for Liam's chief designer competition suits. To placate me, she had promised to design and make me a whole new wardrobe herself. Now all I saw was a closet full of suits she had personally commissioned for Liam. I couldn't even find a clean pair of underwear. It made things easier, though. I could leave without any luggage. Late that night, I lay in bed. Suddenly, a pair of arms wrapped around me from behind. Sensing I was awake, Sophia turned on the light and, uncharacteristically gentle, slipped into my bed. Seeing I wouldn't open my eyes, she softened her voice and coaxed me. Still angry? I checked. It wasn't your fault about Ms. Davies. A flicker of coldness crossed her eyes. She dared to lay a hand on you. She got what she deserved. I know I said some harsh things earlier, but that was just to help Liam feel a little better. You need to be understanding. Seeing me finally open my eyes, Sophia smiled eagerly and leaned in, her voice laced with temptation. Or, maybe I can make it up to you in bed. She tilted her head, allowing me a clear view of the fresh bite marks on her chest. A knot of anger and disgust formed in my throat. I pushed her away, my face cold. No need. Get some rest. Sophia was taken aback, sitting up quickly. You're still mad? Fine. I promise I'll let you compete independently in the chief designer competition. Isn't that what you wanted? The moment the words left her mouth, her phone rang. I saw Liam's name on the caller ID. Sophia scrambled out of bed and quickly put on her clothes. Something came up at the studio. Go to sleep first. Don't wait for me. I didn't stop her. After she left, I lay back down and fell asleep. The next morning, I went downstairs and heard Liam's voice. I don't agree to Ethan competing independently. You promised you'd only help me win. Sophia sounded weary. But I already promised Ethan. Liam, don't make me choose. You're still taking his side, aren't you? Fine. Either he gives me his design drafts to help me win, or he withdraws. Sophia suddenly saw me standing at the top of the stairs. She sharply cut Liam off, rushed forward, and solicitously pulled out a chair for me at the dining table. Ethan, I made breakfast specially for you. Want to try it? I glanced at the fragrant shrimp wontons. They looked utterly unappetizing. No, thanks. I'm allergic to shrimp. Liam was the one who liked shrimp. A bowl of even more elaborately prepared wontons sat in front of him. Sophia gave an awkward laugh. Oh, I forgot. Well, Ethan, why don't you eat? I held up a hand to stop her from going back to the kitchen. I'll help Liam with the design drafts for this competition. I didn't miss the flicker of delight on their faces when they heard this. After all, I knew they had deliberately made sure I overheard their conversation that morning. They wanted to force me to give up voluntarily. But I have conditions. I pulled out a resignation letter and motioned for Sophia to sign it. Her face immediately darkened. She stared at me, jaw clenched, until Liam impatiently urged her. She signed the letter, then threw it in my face, angry. Using tactics like this again? We'll see if you're really resigning this time. Don't come crawling back later begging for my forgiveness, like you always do. Liam is going to be a chief designer. It's an honor for you to provide him with drafts. Don't be so ungrateful. I picked up the resignation letter and handed Liam the design draft I had prepared for the competition. Then perhaps you should show him the gratitude he deserves. I wondered if they would be so self-righteous the next day when they saw me sitting on the judging panel. At the chief designer competition venue, Liam looked sharp in a high-end suit, clinging intimately to Sophia's arm. Seeing me, he swaggered forward, full of arrogance. You actually have the nerve to show up? Just wait and be my stepping stone. Don't forget, you promised you wouldn't use that design draft. Yesterday, he had taken the best parts of my draft and claimed them as his own. Now, he seemed certain the championship was within his grasp. I gave a small, quiet smile. Turning away, I saw a conflicted expression on Sophia's face. She pursed her lips, then sighed softly. Ethan, if you have nowhere to go after the competition, you can come back to me. My studio will always have a place for you. Don't waste time talking to him. Liam interrupted, his voice sharp. I heard the renowned Harrington design family will have their son on the judging panel for this competition. He's a design prodigy who made a name for himself at a young age, and no one has ever seen his face. If I can talk to him, Ethan, that failure, will never be able to compare to us again. He'll regret this. Liam led Sophia away, arm in arm. They had no idea that the mysterious designer they spoke of, the heir to the Harrington dynasty, was me. To play out this final act, I had also entered the competition as a contestant. Liam maintained a polite smile towards the judging panel throughout, his eyes eagerly searching for the Harrington judge. He only saw one empty seat and sighed regretfully. After all the design drafts were submitted and the judges deliberated, Liam's design appeared on the screen. But it wasn't the draft he had picked out. It was identical to the one I had submitted. Liam beamed, ready to step forward to accept the trophy, but a judge stopped him. Please wait. We found that your winning entry duplicates that of another contestant. Liam froze, then quickly blurted out my name. Is the other contestant Ethan Harrington? As the judge nodded gravely, Liam stared at me in disbelief, then lunged forward. You designing degenerate, he roared, punching me in the face and sending me tumbling off the design platform. A sharp pain flared in my forehead. I raised a hand and felt blood. Liam stood over me, looking down with self-righteous fury. Everyone here, you might not know this, but Ethan was my assistant. He's the only one who saw my competition entries beforehand. I knew he was always jealous of me, but I never imagined he'd stoop so low as to plagiarize my work just to ruin me. If you don't believe me, ask my girlfriend. Sophia slowly stood, drawing everyone's attention. She covered her mouth, tears welling in her eyes, her expression one of profound disappointment. Ethan as your ex-girlfriend, I truly cannot stand by. It was because you kept plagiarizing Liam's designs that I finally broke up with you and fell for the upright Liam. Everyone surely remembers the fashion salon plagiarism incident a while back. Ethan Harrington was the plagiarist. He's a habitual offender who constantly copied Liam. Her string of accusations sounded rehearsed, as if she had prepared them long ago. Liam stepped forward and shouted, "Such a plagiarist doesn't deserve to continue competing. I demand that the Judges permanently ban him from this competition. His righteous indignation quickly resonated with the other designers in the room. People in the audience began to stand up, joining the chorus. Ban Ethan Harrington. Ban Ethan Harrington. Being banned from the chief designer competition, which had significant prestige domestically and internationally, was equivalent to being permanently blacklisted in the industry. Liam and Sophia weren't just trying to remove me from this competition. They wanted to utterly destroy my career. Sophia met my gaze, then quickly looked away, her eyes betraying a flicker of guilt. It was then I fully understood. Her offer to take me back after the competition was merely a ploy to continue extracting whatever value I had left. The judges, swayed by the rising tide of outrage, deliberated for a long moment. Finally, they reached a decision. We also support a ban, but this is not solely our decision. We need to consult with Judge Harrington. Liam's face immediately changed, transforming into a mask of eager flattery. Yes, such a matter must surely go through Judge Harrington. What a pity that I, who have admired him for so long, must be introduced to him through such an unpleasant scandal. I slowly leaned back against the design platform, pushing myself up, revealing the cut on my forehead. Looking at Liam's smug, triumphant face, I let out a quiet, contemptuous laugh. The higher you climb, the harder you fall. Sophia cast a furtive, uneasy glance at me, then leaned closer to Liam, whispering reassurance. Don't worry. Judge Harrington is fair and just. He'll surely punish the plagiarist and sympathize with you, the victim. A few judges were already signaling security to find me. Judge Harrington is making his first public appearance today, one announced. He said he would come out last. We haven't seen his face either. Security, please locate Judge Harrington. The entire audience turned their attention to the entrance, anticipating Judge Harrington's arrival. I wiped a smear of blood from my face. No need to look, I said, my voice cutting through the expectant hush. I'm right here. The room fell silent. Then, someone gasped, a sharp intake of breath. Coming back to their senses, Liam's face turned an ugly shade of black. He scoffed, quickly recovering his air of lofty disapproval. Ethan Harrington, who do you think you are? What gives you the audacity to lie like this? You wouldn't possibly think you can impersonate Judge Harrington just because he isn't present, would you? Sophia scanned me from head to toe, her expression one of sheer contempt. Ethan, you're a penniless nobody with no design talent. Refusing to admit your mistakes and now trying to latch onto Judge Harrington's reputation. Everyone here knows Judge Harrington is extraordinarily talented and distinguished. How could he be a despicable person who steals other people's work, like you? She leaned closer, lowering her voice to a warning whisper. Admit your mistake quickly, or even I won't be able to fix the mess you've made. I tilted my head, a cold smile on my lips. Sophia had never once bailed me out of a mess. Yet here she was again, using that condescending tone, assuming I would, as before, shoulder the blame for plagiarism to save her face. Countless skeptical eyes were fixed on me. Whispers began to spread, fueled by Liam and Sophia's accusations. Yeah, if he was Judge Harrington, why didn't he say so earlier? He must be lying to avoid being banned. How could the design world produce such trash? He still has the nerve to lie. Someone who can plagiarize so many times and remain unrepentant clearly has no shame. The crowd's agreement seemed to ease Sophia's tension. She looked down at me with an air of condescending pity. What are you standing around for? Hurry up and bow and apologize to everyone. The moment the words left her mouth, instead of bowing, I looked past her. The organizer of the event abruptly pushed Sophia aside. To the stunned silence of the crowd, he rushed forward, grabbed my hand, and bowed repeatedly, sweat pouring down his face. Judge Harrington, I am so incredibly sorry. My notification was inadequate. Who could have known those useless people on the judging panel wouldn't recognize you? Please rest assured, I will handle this plagiarism incident personally and thoroughly. Liam's face flushed red. He was so enraged he shoved Sophia, who had stumbled into him. Director, even you've been fooled by him. He's not Judge Harrington. He's the thief who stole my work. Remove him from the competition. I've suffered such a great injustice. You should be comforting me. The event organizer glared at Liam's clueless outburst, even more furious. He forcefully shoved Liam's hand away and pointed a finger at him, yelling, I personally invited Judge Harrington to this competition. Do you think I wouldn't recognize him? He has access to every genius design draft imaginable. Why would he be blind enough to plagiarize your mediocre work? Are you insane, or am I? The news hit the room like a thunderclap, eliciting gasps of shock. He's really Judge Harrington? If that's true, then Liam's accusation that Judge Harrington copied him, something must be fishy. Maybe Liam is the one who plagiarized. I trust Judge Harrington's integrity. The mocking stares directed at Liam and Sophia were like stinging needles. The color drained from Sophia's face. She looked at me, utterly disbelieving. You're really Judge Harrington? I shrugged. Does it matter if I'm Judge Harrington? As you can see, I've become Liam's stepping stone anyway. Sophia, after all these years, didn't you know if my design skills were worthy of being Judge Harrington? Seeing Sophia's trembling form, I shook my head. I forgot. You were too busy giving my drafts to Liam. Too busy accusing me of plagiarism with him. How could you possibly care about my identity? Liam suddenly flew into a rage. He lunged forward, shouting, Ethan Harrington, you're slandering me. Even if you are Judge Harrington, you can't plagiarize my work. I have nothing to hide. Prove it if you can. Every time my drafts had ended up in Liam's hands, it had been part of Sophia's covert planning. He was confident I had no concrete proof. But this time, he was mistaken. I clapped my hands together. Instantly, a video was projected onto the large screen behind me. It was security footage from the night before the competition, showing Sophia sneaking into my office. It clearly recorded her furtively searching through my papers. Upon finding the design draft, she smiled in satisfaction before leaving. I raised an eyebrow. Congratulations. You asked for proof. Here it is. I knew Sophia and Liam wouldn't give up easily. Liam had always seen me as a threat and would never allow me to participate in competitions and overshadow him. Stealing my drafts and then crying plagiarism was their usual tactic. That's why I had installed surveillance in my study beforehand. Halfway through the video, the audience erupted in jeers and murmurs. Sophia's legs gave way, and she collapsed into a chair. Liam could no longer contain his fury. He swung a fist and lunged at me. Ethan Harrington, you ruined my chance at the championship. You'll pay for this. But I wouldn't let him bully me as he had before. I dodged his punch and delivered a sharp kick to his abdomen. Liam groaned, collapsing to the ground in pain. Sophia rushed forward, her eyes red-rimmed, shielding him with her body. Her voice was choked with accusation. Ethan, you're already a judge. Why do you have to compete with Liam? If you want to blame someone, blame me. I'm the one who stole your draft and forced Liam to use it in the competition. If you want to punish someone, punish me. As countless times before, she chose to stand in front of Liam. Even if I wasn't the worthless designer in her eyes, some people, by simply being there, already held a winning position in her heart. I gave a short, sharp sigh. Don't worry, I said, my voice calm but firm. I have no intention of letting you off either. I hereby announce that, from this day forward, Sophia Miller and Liam Thompson are permanently banned from the Chief Designer competition and the design industry. The Chief Designer competition held immense prestige both nationally and globally. Designers banned from it were those found guilty of serious misconduct. They were effectively blacklisted in the industry, making it nearly impossible to continue their careers. Sophia's eyes widened in shock, tears streaming down her face. She seemed unable to believe I would be so ruthless towards her. I turned away from her, Yang avoiding her gaze, and walked out of the competition venue. The organizer called me to say the public announcement about Sophia and Liam's ban had been released to the media. After hanging up, I switched off my phone and stood outside my childhood home, hesitating for the first time in years. I wasn't sure how to face my parents after everything. Years ago, I had met Sophia at a small design competition and fallen in love at first sight. But my parents immediately saw through Sophia's ambition and cunning, fearing she would hurt me. However, blinded by love, I saw their concerns as prejudice. I stubbornly cut ties with my family, declaring that true love would conquer all and that I would prove them wrong with Sophia. But I had bet on the wrong person. In the early days, Sophia would snuggle in my arms while sketching designs, accompany me to competitions, and even cherish my discarded drafts. But after Liam joined the studio, everything changed. Perhaps his naked ambition resonated more with Sophia. She declared she had found a soulmate, assistant, and began diverting all resources that had once been mine towards him. From then on, she would spend late nights discussing inspiration with Liam, but wouldn't even bring me a glass of water when I came home drunk from securing investment. She forgot that I was the one who had built the foundation for her ambitious empire, working day and night, enduring Humiliation, designing tirelessly to make her design studio famous. The rewards, however, all went to Liam. I had always admired Sophia's ambition, but in reality, her talent was lacking, and her greed was boundless. I felt ashamed that I had left home for such a woman, too ashamed to face my parents. But before I could stand there much longer, the door opened. My parents stood there, their hair noticeably grayer, their faces etched with weariness, but also the overwhelming joy of seeing me again. My nose burned, and tears welled up. I fell to my knees. "Mom, Dad, your unfilial son is home." My mother burst into tears, rushing forward and hitting me gently, as if releasing years of pent-up longing and pain. My father's eyes were red-rimmed. He helped me up, his hands trembling. All right, kneeling at the door. "Get inside. All these years, your mother and I never blamed you." He paused, closing his eyes with a heavy sigh. "If you still want to be with Sophia, we won't stop you anymore." I shook my head, holding their hands, my voice choked but firm. "It's over between us. It has been for a long time." The day after I returned home, my father grimly placed his phone in front of me. I looked at the screen, unsurprised, a flicker of understanding. In my eyes, I knew Sophia and Liam wouldn't quietly accept their banishment, but I hadn't expected them to be so shameless as to expose me online. On social media, Sophia and Liam had both reposted the Chief Designer Competition's ban announcement, followed by a video. In the video, Sophia, looking frail and exhausted, was weeping in Liam's arms. I tolerated Ethan's plagiarism of Liam's designs for so long because of our past relationship, but he kept his identity a secret and deceived us. Just to get revenge on Liam, he bribed the competition judges to slander us and had both Liam and me banned. Liam gently wiped away her tears, then looked solemnly into the camera. Is a judge who abuses his power for personal vendettas truly someone you should support? He's been living off Sophia for years, proving he has no talent of his own. The Harrington design prodigy title is just capitalistic manipulation. Sophia and I know exactly what his level is. He stole so many of my works. Besides, his so-called evidence is fake. Ethan lived at Sophia's house. They shared a study. It's perfectly normal for Sophia to go in and get something. Hearing this, Sophia cried even harder, her voice laced with manufactured pain. "Don't say any more, Liam. We have no power or influence. We can't fight him." Holding Liam's hand, she looked into his eyes like a couple forced to face adversity together. "Today, Liam and I formally announce our withdrawal from the design industry. This corrupt design world doesn't deserve our talent and our dreams." The video garnered significant attention, quickly going viral. The comment section was overwhelmingly against me. What a shameless kept man. How did someone like him become a judge? Petition for a thorough investigation into corruption at the Chief Designer Competition. Especially this blight, Ethan Harrington. I can see their helplessness and love for design in their eyes. They must have been slandered. "Ethan Harrington, come out and explain yourself." My father took a deep breath. "What are you going to do?" The Designers Association has been impacted by the public outcry and called me for clarification. If this continues, not only you but the entire Harrington family will be affected by the scandal. Before I could reply, Sophia called. Her voice was triumphant, laced with malice. "Ethan, you must have seen social media by now. You caused such a scene with us back then. Wasn't it just because you were jealous of Liam? Now I'm giving you a chance. Publicly admit to the whole country that you slandered Liam and me, and reinstate our competition eligibility and our reputations." I almost laughed from the sheer absurdity. Where do you get off making demands? I already told you, it's over between us. You signed the resignation letter. We have absolutely nothing to do with each other anymore. There's no way I'm clearing your names. Sophia's voice rose sharply. You're still being stubborn? People are already threatening to expose your personal information. If you don't clear our names, just wait for the netizens' justice. With that, she angrily hung up. I turned to face my father's worried gaze and shrugged nonchalantly. I quickly registered an account on social media and got verified as Ethan Harrington, designer. Within moments, my inbox was flooded with messages, all of them insults and curses. My phone vibrated incessantly, but it didn't slow down my typing. I uploaded all the works Liam had stolen from me over the years. These were acclaimed, award-winning designs. Posting them immediately caused a sensation. Finally feeling guilty and ready to apologize to the victims? Capitalist dog. What's the use of posting Liam Thompson's work? We want you to kneel and apologize. Then, I posted another message. These award-winning works are only a fraction of the drafts Liam stole from me. I will release the others as well. Not just these, but every work Liam Thompson has ever publicly claimed was created by me. Still being stubborn. You're a design mogul now, and your word is taken as truth. Who dares refute you when you slander someone? You say these are yours. Where's the proof? I replied directly to that comment. The proof is embedded within the drafts themselves. You can look for it. Every design draft contains the hidden pattern, Ethan and Sophia. Back then, my heart filled with love, I had hoped Sophia would discover the message of love I had hidden within my designs. But she had never cared about my subtle expressions of affection. All she cared about was how much value the design could bring to Liam. Now, ironically, these small, personal details she had overlooked had become the irrefutable evidence to dismantle their lies. After that post went live, the activity on my social media inbox came to a screeching halt. My phone immediately began ringing off the hook. It was Sophia. This time, she knew I was determined to see them face consequences. Her voice was soft, pleading. Ethan, I know you're still angry, but can you really be so cruel as to make it impossible for me to ever show my face in the design world again? Please stop being angry. Take down the posts. We can go public right away, get married right away. I won't spoil Liam by letting him use your designs anymore either. Please don't be jealous. I'll keep my distance from him. We're just colleagues, like siblings. I clicked my tongue, amazed at Sophia's confidence that I still loved her. No, thank you. I find you disgusting. It's the first time I've seen someone look after their brother all the way into bed. The wedding dress I gave you, wasn't that quite stimulating to play with? Sophia's breath hitched. After a long silence, she spoke, her voice strained. You know, I can explain. Save your explanations for court. I've already contacted a lawyer. I'm suing you both for the reputational and financial damages you've caused me over the years by submitting my work as your own. On the day of the trial, I sent my legal representative and did not attend in person. The court ordered them to pay a significant amount in damages, which I immediately donated. Later, while out drinking with friends, I heard they weren't doing well. Liam, arrogant and unwilling to accept being cast out of the industry he had worked so hard in, tried to make a comeback, but was met with rejection everywhere. Although Sophia remained by his side, he blamed her for being exposed. He took out his frustrations and the humiliation of being blacklisted on her, not only giving her the silent treatment, but even bringing his pregnant mistress home and making Sophia wait on them. Honestly, without you, who in the industry would give Sophia Miller or Liam Thompson a second look? My friend commented. I felt nothing. I smiled faintly, sipping my drink, when a friend nudged me. I followed his knowing gaze. Liam Thompson is out trying to secure investment again, dragging Sophia along. I know that investor. His company is just a shell now. In the noisy bar, Sophia, her face pale, was shoved by Liam towards the investor. The investor whispered something in her ear, and Liam gave her a hard shove in the back, sending her stumbling into the man. Don't be dramatic. Didn't you see the boss wants you to drink? The words were eerily familiar. I watched as Sophia was forced to drink glass after glass. The alcohol allergy quickly caused a rash to break out on her skin, yet she plastered on a strained smile and kept drinking. I turned away, finding the scene tiresome, and told my friends I was leaving. As I pushed open the door to exit, I bumped into Sophia, who was leaning against the wall, retching drunkenly. The moment her eyes met mine, she couldn't hold back any longer. She lunged forward, wrapping her arms tightly around my waist, sobbing uncontrollably. Ethan, I truly made a mistake. The alcohol is so bitter, and those investors are so disgusting. Why is it like this? It was never like this when you were here. Yes, that was true. I had always been so afraid she would suffer at those events. I had shielded her from unwanted attention, taken the drinks for her, fended off predatory investors. As long as I was there, even when we had nothing, no one could make her feel like this. But Sophia was the one who had decided she didn't need any of that anymore. I firmly pried her arms away. Isn't this what you brought upon yourself? Stop clinging to me. We have no connection. I won't take care of you anymore. Sophia seemed to lose all strength, slumping to the floor. She watched my retreating back, weeping uncontrollably. Her phone buzzed with messages from Liam, demanding she return to entertain the investor. Only then did she fully realize that not everyone would, like I had, support her through every difficulty and handle everything for her. After returning to the Harrington family, I immersed myself in the world of design competitions, determined to win back every championship I had effectively sacrificed. At yet another national design competition, I stood on the podium, holding the champion's trophy high, acknowledging the crowd. My gaze drifted to a corner of the venue, and I noticed someone watching me. Sophia Miller was sitting there. I calmly looked away, avoiding her gaze. As I descended from the podium, Sophia intercepted me backstage. Her lips trembled as she spoke. "Ethan, I broke up with Liam. I should have realized he was a terrible person long ago. I exhausted all my remaining connections just to get the chance to see you receive your award. You're still as brilliant as you always were." She rattled on, tears of apparent nostalgia welling in her eyes. I impatiently held up a hand, cutting her off. "Excuse me. I need to go." Sophia seemed to snap back to reality, quickly wiping her cheeks. She tentatively held out her hand, revealing a diamond ring on her middle finger, a ring identical to the one I had designed. "Ethan, I just realized that back at the design salon competition, you were going to use the design on that draft to propose to me. I know it's too late, but I still want to say, I love you. I was blind back then." She covered her face, sobbing. "Is there really no chance for us?" "No." Hearing my definitive answer, a pained sob escaped Sophia's lips. I pretended not to hear, brushing past her. As I did, I heard a faint whisper behind me. "I'm sorry." But sorry was the last thing I needed. Stepping out of the competition hall, my parents were waiting by the car. They took the trophy from me, their faces beaming with pride. I smiled. As I got into the car, I was already planning for the next competition. From now on, every honor I earned would belong solely to me.